Hi, I'm Chris Raptus Real Estate. Welcome to episode number 12, appliances in your property. So I advise my clients when selling a home to look at putting more higher end appliances into your property. So that's, Smeg, Bosch, Miele, to name a few, especially when it comes to dishwasher, gas cooking, and ovens. I tend to find that I get a lot more longevity with those appliances, especially when it comes to higher end home sales. I think it's certainly beneficial when buyers enter a kitchen and you're spending good amounts of money on a property. Buyers certainly will look at the appliances and what appliances those owners have put into the properties. Now, you can do overkill with appliances, and sometimes spending $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on an oven, believe it or not, or fridges, it can be overkill, and sometimes buyers don't necessarily see the value when it comes to those sort of appliances and those costs when it comes to an appliance. So just because you spent $50 on an oven or a fridge, it doesn't necessarily mean that the buyer is going to pay that kind of money for that appliance. So I think that's a general rule of thumb. Now, when it comes to property management, I think it's on the flip side, which is certainly I find that putting higher end appliances in rental properties certainly cause me more issues when it comes to the tenants, especially when it comes to the complexity of using the appliance, as the higher end ones that tend to be a little bit more complex. And when they break down, whose fault is it? Is it wear and tear? Is it manufacturer's fault? It really does become, a to and fro throw between a tenant and landlord. And of course, we get caught in the middle of that. Whereas, if you do end up putting in a cheaper appliance, well, I tend to recommend my clients to replace those appliances rather than, get a specialist to come in and replace parts or fix the unit per se. So it's just an easier way to replace the units. And, yes, when they're cheaper units, it is a cheaper cost, obviously, to fix it. But when you're talking more high-end, it can be thousands of dollars per appliance. So sometimes you've got to weigh up the benefits and, will a tenant lease a property just because of a high-end appliance? Probably not. But will a buyer influence their offer on certain appliances? Probably yes. So you just got to weigh it up from a landlord and a seller's point of view and look at the benefits. But I find certainly the owners that invest in good appliances from a sales point of view tend to get a higher sale price. They certainly make the sale easier for real estate agents. Whether as landlords, I find that putting in a cheaper appliance tends to be the better option, especially when tenants vacate from a property. We can just go in there and put in a new appliance, and it's just easier that way. And you should get 5 to 7 good years, let's say, of a cheaper appliance. As opposed to you're putting in $2,000-$3,000 for one appliance, and there is that possibility that things do go wrong. Now, it is property, things do go wrong, especially when it comes to tenants. There always isn't the amount of highest level of care, and that's just one thing to be mindful of with these higher end appliances. You do have to be somewhat gentle as well. That they're very finicky, so to speak. So I just find, if you're replacing a button or something on a Miele appliance, it can be very expensive and sometimes not worth it. And you're better off to look at replacing the unit. So there's a little bit of interesting feedback. Look forward to the next video and look forward to taking your inquiries on whatever topics you want to discuss when it comes to property. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time.